Good evening. We begin tonight. Handcuffed and shackled former school resource officer Scot Peterson going before a judge today.
And he's facing a number of criminal charges in connection with the Stoneman Douglas massacre. Local 10 News reporter Sanella Sabovic is live. She's in Fort Lauderdale with the developments that happened today. Sanella.
Kristen Calvin, Scot Peterson remains locked up behind bars here in Fort Lauderdale. Earlier in the day, he did make a bond court appearance. His attorneys were also present, arguing the fact that he doesn't fit the role as a caregiver. Therefore, he should not be prosecuted on child neglect charges. Regardless, the judge finding probable cause, issuing him a $102,000 bond.
So at this time, I will call Scot Peterson.
Former BSO Deputy Scot Peterson shackled, appearing in court following his arrest. Peterson is facing 11 charges in total, from child neglect, culpable negligence to perjury, stemming from the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School last February. Peterson's defense attorney Joseph DeRuzo challenging the judge's probable cause determination on the definition of what exactly a caretaker is, even filing a motion today saying in part, a caregiver means a parent, adult household member, or other person responsible for a child's welfare. The definition of, quote, other person responsible for a child's welfare expressly excludes law enforcement officers acting in an official capacity. Peterson's bond was set at $102,000. One of the conditions is that he surrender his passport, which is currently in North Carolina. His attorneys arguing it could take days to retrieve it.
Obviously, the case has to work its way through the normal process. And of course, Mr. Peterson, we expect, will be treated fairly, just like every other person.
Peterson's arrest follows a 14-month investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Evidence shows Peterson chose not to confront the gunman at Stoneman Douglas. Footage from the day of the massacre shows Peterson heading out in a golf cart, taking a position outside and never going in as shots were fired.
He was just a total coward.
Grieving Parkland parents responding to Peterson's arrest.
My son did his job, what he should have done, because I honestly believe there's no one on the third floor who would have been murdered that day.
And in that motion filed just this afternoon by Peterson's attorneys, they say that his bond is excessive, that he's not a danger to the community, that he was a BSO deputy for decades, that he should be released on his own recognizance. There is another hearing scheduled for tomorrow morning. That's the latest here from Fort Lauderdale. Sanella Sabovic, Local 10 News.